Should clear with lingering rainfall confined to coastal areas. Most places will stay clear and dry, but it could turn chilly with a touch of frost. Some fog patches and lows of 4 degrees Celsius. Sunday will start with dry and sunny spells, just a few showers around in northern areas. It could turn wet and windy across parts of Scotland, highs of 16 degrees. Monday and Tuesday likely to see more showers and longer spells of rain, staying cool for most.
LBC News.
3:53 right now. One of the organisers of Birmingham Pride says the Commonwealth Games highlighted huge barriers for LGBT communities. A parade and other events are taking place in the city this weekend as part of the festival's 25th year. Lawrence Barton, director of Birmingham Pride, says LGBT issues remain controversial in the city's schools.
We saw it strikingly I suppose in a very striking way, no outsiders, and the demonstrations outside schools where the parents of children did not and do not want LGBTQI curriculum taught to their children. They don't believe it's right. They don't believe that it's against their religion, some of their religions, and those dialogues, I'm afraid, are kind of still brushed aside. I don't think that those issues have properly been fully and wholeheartedly tackled properly. There was no proper resolution with all of that. It was kind of just swept away. Those views still exist. They exist in our communities today. In a progressive 2022 society, there are parts within this region, in our city schools, where I'm afraid LGBTQI awareness, for example, is simply still not welcome. Parents not want even to know that we consider that to be a proper all right existence. It's considered still by some to be unnatural, not right, wrong, religiously wrong, humanely wrong. So I think why those views exist in society, pride is still obviously very important.
Where the news never stops. LBC News.
Now then, Roger Federer says he enjoyed a special end to his career after playing his final professional match before retirement from tennis. He ended up in tears along with his great rival Rafa Nadal as they paired up in the doubles in the Laver Cup in London. But the 20-time Grand Slam champion says he did enjoy the experience.
I didn't have fireworks in my head where I see my career flashing by, all the things I'm going to miss. This was weeks ago. There it was hard for me, making phone calls, letting people know this decision is happening. There I felt pain, but now it was all happiness.
Let's hear now from his great rival, Rafa Nadal.
For me, it has been a huge honor to be part of this amazing moment of the history of our sport, and at the same time, a lot of years sharing a lot of things together. When Roger leaves the tour, an important part of my life is leaving too.
Another injury has halted Emma Raducanu's progress, this time at the Korea Open tennis. The British #1, who struggled with blisters, a side strain and back issues since winning the US Open last year, conceded in the deciding set of her semi-final against Yelena Ostapenko. She had been enjoying her best run at the tournament following last year's shock triumph in New York. Scotland midfielder John McGinn is set to make his 50th appearance for his country during tonight's Nations League clash with the Republic of Ireland. Manager Steve Clarke called his vice-captain a key member of the squad ahead of him reaching the milestone. Meanwhile, his teammate Scott McKenna says McGinn is an influential figure.
Yeah, I think he's a massive leader in the squad. Probably not as a screamer and shouter and a talker as such, but I think more on the pitch, when he drives forward or flies into a tackle, it just brings the full team. And at home, certainly the stadium with them, and it raises everyone's game.
Well, Scotland could take a step closer to promotion. Of course, England have been relegated. Gareth Southgate says it's his job to take the pressure off the players after he was booed following last night's 1-0 defeat to Italy. It's his side's 5th game without a win, which of course saw them relegated and left them goalless from open play since March. They have just one match left before the World Cup.
I understand the reaction at the end because that's the results we've had in this competition, and it's an understandable emotional reaction.
England take on Germany at Wembley on Monday. Of course, not long until the World Cup in Qatar gets underway. A little under 2 months now until that tournament opener, when England take on Iran. Of course, all the build-up here on LBC News. Further analysis on all of the main stories at lbc.co.uk, and we'll have more on the government's budget announcement yesterday. Next.
This is LBC News.
Probably just decided, okay, didn't work out, it's driving Tesla stock down.
Should we all be worried that there doesn't appear to be that much governing actually going on?
Where the news never stops.
CCTV is still a hugely contentious issue in France, where there's still very, very strict privacy laws.
It really is very muddy waters.
This means the passengers are going to be, facing a summer of discontent?
Listen on Global Player, LBC News.
I've never been a fan of wearing black at funerals. I want people wearing bright colours at mine. Might cheer everyone up a bit.
That sounds like a lovely idea. We'll add that to your funeral wishes.
With over 150 years' experience, you can count on Co-op Funeral Care to help you pre-plan the send-off you want. To find out more, visit your local Co-op Funeral Care or go to coop.co.uk/funeral plans. Co-op, it's what we do. T's and C's apply. Co-op Funeral Care is a trading name of Co-op Funeral Plans Limited, which is authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority.
Is boiler cover worth it? As a British Gas engineer, I get asked that a lot, and I always say yes. In the past year, we've been called out to fix over 1.8 million boilers, and repair bills can be hefty, but with British Gas boiler cover from just £2.50 a month, you can count on us if things go wrong.
Get a little peace of mind from costly repairs from just £2.50 a month. Search British Gas boiler cover. British Gas, here to solve. Terms and exclusions apply. Availability 98% of UK mainland.
When a baby cries, you want to do everything you can to help. Emmanuel and his twin brother need your help to receive antibiotics. Pneumonia has filled their lungs with fluid and they are fighting for every breath. With your help, for just £3, Save the Children could provide the medicine they need. And that's all we're asking you for. To save a child like Emmanuel's life. Please, go to savethechildren.org.uk now and to give £3 a month. Thank you.
Across the UK, people are looking to save on their monthly bills. Switch and save over £200 versus BT on all Vodafone full fibre broadband plans. That's up to 5 times more reliable than standard broadband. From only £20 a month for 24 months. Switch and save today to get reliable broadband without the price tag. Vodafone.
24-month contract. Credit and availability checks apply. Comparison made against comparable BT plans. Terms of verification at vodafone.co.uk/broadband.
LBC News. The latest news headlines. Next.
Sometimes you just need to get away. And for the Agarwal family, it was well overdue. They wanted to know exactly what they were getting, like knowing their kids stay and eat a delicious breakfast for free.
Yes.
And no need to lug heavy bags, with free parking at over 500 hotels. Enjoy the same feeling whatever the trip. Premier Inn. Rest easy. Only available to book at premierinn.com. T's and C's apply. Up to 2 kids stay and eat breakfast free with a full paying adult.
On your radio, on Global Player, and
Play LBC News,
where the news never stops. This is LBC News.
From Global's newsroom, it's 4 o'clock. I'm David Dom. Good afternoon. Here's the latest. Labour has accused the government of gambling with the country's finances after announcing billions of pounds of tax cuts. The value of the sterling has fallen to a 37-year low against the dollar following the Chancellor's announcements. Ukraine's president is urging people in occupied areas to avoid conscription into the Russian army in any way they can. Volodymyr Zelensky gave an address overnight after Russia began referendums aimed at annexing 4 regions of eastern and southern Ukraine. 2 teenagers have died in a car crash in Nottinghamshire. 2 others were injured after the collision in Godalming on Thursday. And a record Women's Super League crowd of 47,367 were at the Emirates Stadium this afternoon for the North London derby. Arsenal won 4-0.
LBC News. Weather.
Showers will clear, but it's going to get colder with a chance of frost in places. I'm Jack Foster. I've got a full forecast in the next 15 minutes.
LBC News. Travel.
In London at Finsbury Park, there's a lane blocked on the A503 northbound at the moment on Seven Sisters Road. That follows an accident between the 12 pins traffic lights and Manor House. In Berkshire, the westbound M4 remains closed until the early hours of Monday morning. It's for works between junction 11 at Reading and 12 at Field. And in Mildenhall in Suffolk, the street is currently closed in both directions. Long delays after an accident between the Mildenhall Road roundabout and St John Street. Stoke-on-Trent in Staffordshire, the A50 eastbound, that is blocked. Got delays after a breakdown just near to Heron Cross. I'm Gary Ken. Your next update is in 20 minutes here on LBC News.
This is LBC News.
LBC News time, 2 minutes past 4. It's Saturday afternoon. Thanks for being with us. Let's get a little more then in terms of announcements or reaction to the announcements from the Chancellor yesterday, who insists his tax cuts are fair and it will put money in people's pockets. But think tank the Resolution Foundation says they'll do nothing to stop 2 million people falling into poverty and the rich will get richer. LBC's Emma Core reports.
Certainly, this mini-budget has left lots of people asking questions, described by some economists as a reverse Robin Hood, giving to the rich and not helping the poor. But speaking to LBC News earlier, Chris Philp, the Chief Secretary to the Treasury,